in Seattle, the place that has been hotly embroiled in the recent protests that have been going on around police brutality and institutional racism, the place where Chaz existed, Chaz, formerly known as Chop, that is now gone, dead and gone, as Kanye would put it. There were some people on the road on the 5th, just after, at night, just after the 4th of July celebrations. There were on I-5, I think, is a road in Seattle, in interstate in Seattle, where Chaz shut it down for a while. That's one of the protests that that Chaz was doing, is that they stopped all traffic on I-5. They completely blocked the highway and stopped traffic from moving. This highway has been shut down for an extremely long time. Okay, ever since Chop existed, and then it was reopened for a small amount of time. But protesters still were protesting on the road. So the police decided to shut the road down. They shut it down. The police themselves shut it down. So this is not an act of any of the protesters necessarily. But the police put up barricades. They put up signs. They told people not to go on the road. And then we have what happened on the 5th. On the 5th, there was a group of protesters on I-5. I-5 has been the scene of a lot of protests going on. I can show you here, actually. You can see something, some protesters doing the, and that's all we get to hear of that because I don't want to get freaking demonetized, but they're dancing, and this is the exact road that we're going to be talking about today on I-5, okay? There are a couple of protesters gathered on I-5 on the 5th to they were thinking about things to do, where to go next, how they're gonna meet again, and there was a car on I-5. The car was coming down the road, and the protesters were like, car, screaming. People were trying to get out of the road. The car swerved past more barricades that were in the road and hit 2 protesters. Okay? Now, lots of people are going to say, oh, what are they doing on the road in the first place? Okay, for one, let's understand, the road was closed. No one was supposed to be on the road, not even cars, okay? So you can talk about, how the protesters shouldn't have been on the road, but the cars definitely weren't. Secondly, this person drove on the exit ramp. He drove up the exit ramp, barreled through the barricades that were on the road, went the wrong direction on the road to find these protesters, hit them, and then try to bolt. Thankfully, the driver has been caught. He tried to make a hit and run. He tried to escape. People were able to hop into their car and catch him. The police had to chase him down. Then he stopped, and they were able to take him into custody. He's facing charges right now. But we weren't sure about the condition of the protesters that were hit, actually, until recently, where one of the protesters was pronounced dead. Their name was Summer Taylor. Summer Taylor, they go by they. They were non-binary. They go by they. They worked in a veterinarian clinic, and the vet said that Taylor worked tirelessly was standing up for others while working full-time and supporting everyone else around them. Summer and also Diaz Love, who was 32, was also hit. We're not sure about the condition of Diaz Love, but people are saying that she is recovering still after being hit on the road. Extremely sad situation. It really is, but it doesn't stop there. I can't play the video here. For you all for Twitch because it's extremely graphic. I was thinking about putting it in for the YouTube segment, but I'm not sure exactly. If I do, it's gonna go here, and if I don't, then you can look it up yourself. It's a pretty sad video. They got launched a couple feet into the air and hit the pavement. So, but that's not where our story ends, actually, because here's where our story ends right now. Our story is continued with what's going on when it comes to conservatives talking about this issue. Now, I'm going to show you something that is going to make your skin crawl, okay? Here are all of the hidden replies that were on a single post about these people getting hit and dying on the freeway, okay? So here's one. Don't do stupid shit in the middle of the road. Very bad that she has been killed, misgendering them. But you definitely shouldn't be dancing in the middle of the road. A lot of apologia for people who are literally hit and killed on the road. Get off the highway. What are you defying? Grow up, be responsible. Fuck the protesters. The disdain for the protesters is actually gone so far that conservatives have just been they're just now pro murder. They're just pro run them over. Remember when we saw those other videos of the cop cars like basically running like protesters over, pushing them with their cars, right? And people were like, just run them over. Well, they weren't joking. They really wanted to just run them over and kill them. And they even were even carrying water for this person going up, entering the exit ramp, barreling through police barricades, and driving on the wrong side of the road to kill these protesters. That's what happened here. That's what he did. Don't go dancing on the freeway if you don't want to meet a fast car. There are a couple of other really, really atrocious ones. Get out of the road, dummies. There you go. And there are some other ones as well that were just so bad that I know there are a couple here that got deleted. That just got completely deleted. The tweet from this account no longer exists. Yep, and and here they are. There's just like whole lists of people who had to be just like who had to have their comments removed. There's also, I think there are a couple of pretty bad ones here. Yeah, the bootlicking is actually insane when it comes to this. I wasn't necessarily surprised, but I was surprised on how crazy these people got so quickly, right? Summer Taylor, this is the person, was murdered. People are drawing allegories to Heather Heyer. If you remember Heather Heyer, it was the woman who was killed at the Charlottesville. She's the person, you remember that video of the Dodge just running into the crowd of protesters? She's the one that died there. And this person, lol, no, sorry, it's illegal to be on the freeway. Yeah, just really bad stuff going on. Murder trial, please. I remember this one. This person saying this person needs to go to jail for murder. I agree. This person says, I agree for the person who led the 24-year-old and all the others that were there into the street outside of the sidewalk. So just carrying water for people just trying to carrying water for people who literally committed a murder for no reason on the street, right? Like what there's no defense for this. There is no, even, I mean, I would have the tiniest minutia of defense for the driver if the road was just open, right? But it wasn't. It was just murder. It was just murder. Oh, and this person is just like already trying to make stuff up. Not murder by any stretch. She ran into a moving car. And that's basically where our story ends here, okay? These conservatives are getting so bad that they'll do anything to justify their hatred for the protesters. Literally anything. They'll make up any story. They'll carry water for anyone. They'll manipulate the facts on anything, even when it comes to someone dying. What do you do with these sorts of people? Honestly, I think the only thing that we can do with them is beat them. Not physically, because we're very much against political violence. Beat them beat them politically. Make them completely irrelevant. That's all we can do, honestly. Make them just leave it at this. This is disgusting enough to see it. But when we have people going out in the world who have actual political power, able to change people's lives with these sorts of ideals, that can't stand. That can't happen. So we have to beat them. Make sure to vote. Make sure to stay active. This can't happen again. Hopefully this person gets held accountable. We're going to keep up with the story as much as we can, see what happens with the trial, just like we're doing with the Derek Chauvin case. But this is really disgusting how they'll crawl out of the woodwork to just like, and you saw this as well with Ahmaud Arbery, where just like weirdos start crawling out of the woodwork to say like, oh, this guy, I remember once 10 years ago, he actually stole something. So therefore, him being shot here is just totally self defense. Like, I mean, just making up anything that they can to make this like murder be like more justifiable in the eyes of like normal human beings. Thankfully, it's not working as much. We're moving more progressively every single day, but we still have a lot of work. Yeah, you can't like execute someone on the road. Like these guys are literally just crawling out of the woodwork to talk about how it's cool to execute protesters on the road. Holy crap. Holy crap. They're showing you exactly mask slips. They're showing you exactly what they believe in. They're fascists. They're just fascists. That's all they care about. Is blind adherence to the state. They're just fascists. These are the people who get genuinely upset when you don't like fold the flag in the right way. Like it's like weird sort of like illogical deference to the state for literally no reason but because you were told to. It's really weird. Fall in line or drop in line or drop dead, and that's all these people believe in.